Hello and welcome to High Note. Today we'll be speaking to Zhanna Alkhazova. She's the moving force and the principal behind the Amelia Classical Music Series here in West Hartford. In 2025, she produced 4 concerts with resounding success, and we're interested to know what she's going to do in 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet Zhanna.
Hello.
Hello, Zhanna. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're starting a whole new thing in West Hartford. It's a musical series, and I'm interested. Just why is it called the Amelia? Where's that from? Because your name is Zhanna, and you're the producer. Why Amelia?
Yes, I might know something about it. That's actually Amelia is our daughter's name, and so we decided that this would be Amelia Classical Music Series.
Ah, and you using the word we as opposed to I. Who is part of the we?
We, I would say, the core is myself and my husband, who is a great supporter of ACMS, as we call it in short. It's been a few years in the making. I moved to West Hartford in 2019. We got married. We had Amelia during the pandemic. She's our pandemic baby, 2020. And all the while, I would say that this is one of the first places I've lived where I really, truly felt a sense of community. And so my thinking was, what am I able to bring to this community? Lots of conversations, lots of discussions. When you become a mom, your traveling days are limited, yes. And I wanted to still use the resources that I have, which are obviously musical resources that, by that I mean the incredible musicians that I have met throughout my life as a musician myself. From New York City to Boston to whenever I traveled, I've accumulated an incredible network. And that's how it all sort of, the thinking came about from what am I able to bring? This is what I'm able to bring. And sort of
this was
evolved.
The discussions with your
discussions,
husband.
yes.
So is your husband a musical
phenomenon? He's not.
No.
But he very much loves and appreciates classical music. He grew up a lot around classical music, so he understands and I mean truly just supports our cause.
And supports you.
Supports me.
Well, so you are also an opera singer, yes, of high repute. I mean, you've worked at Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center and Avery Fisher Hall, and I'm just naming the 3 that are most obvious to me. But are you part of the talent that's going to be performing also? Because you mentioned that you have access to so much talent. Yes. Are you still going to be singing?
Yes, once a year. So this is going to be, we're going into our 3rd, I would say, full season. We started this series in 2024, in the spring of 2024. Where I presented a solo recital, and that's where it began. A lot of people started asking, when are you going to do another concert? What are you going to do? And I just thought, well, I can't possibly be, doing my own concerts over and over again. And once a year, we do a special concert of opera scenes. We do sometimes art song. It depends. But our last season, we had an incredible, our best, most successful concert to date, where I invited 2 of my great friends, one who has performed with La Scala and actually has sung before with Connecticut Opera, and a soprano from the Metropolitan Opera. And we did a very special to me concert called Belle Nuit, where we performed a series of different scenes.
Yes, I think West Hartford Community Access recorded that, yes. Belle Nuit. Yes. And who was this other opera phenom?
Kirsten Chambers. She is an incredible singer. She has sung all over the world.
As have
She's
you.
soprano.
As have
I've
you.
had,
You've
yes,
you've you've been in Canada. You've been in United States. I mean,
Russia,
Russia.
Italy,
Yeah.
Germany, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I've had quite a run at it. Very thankful to have had many wonderful opportunities. And opera is my first love because my voice, I feel lends itself best
To
to operatic singing. But I love classical music in general. I'm a huge um, supporter of classical music. I believe that it's unbelievably important for every single person to be exposed to classical
and why?
music.
Why is it so important to be exposed to classical music
To be
as
honest,
opposed to rock music?
I think nothing wrong with it. I think it's fantastic to be exposed to rock music, to pop music. I think we have, we should enjoy every genre, whichever you choose. However, classical music, let me just give us an example. My daughter, from the age was very
Amelia.
Amelia, from hey, exactly Amelia, from when she was very little, you would put on classical music, this stillness, this peace comes over her. I am tired, anxious, exhausted. What calms me is classical music.
So you're saying this is your feeling
It's
that
my feeling.
classical music is important for mental health.
It's essential, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's essential. Not even my opinion. Lots of studies have been done on it. So we're working with elderly communities on top of producing our concerts, and so many studies, scientific studies, have been proven. You In using classical music, a friend of mine, a wonderful, he's an oncologist, and he said one of the things we use in cancer wards, pediatric cancer wards, is classical music.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, whew, goosebumps, right? I
right,
mean,
right.
so
So it has meaning.
it has meaning.
It has meaning, and it does something for people. It's not just there. It adds another layer, another dimension.
Absolutely.
And talking about another dimension, I'm going to shift a little bit
Yeah.
because I know that you were born in Moscow
Yes.
and that you came to this country in 1995,
Yes.
so you're very young, and you're part of the refugee project.
Yes.
What is that?
I'm going to say about 10, maybe 15 years ago, a friend of mine who is now a renowned conductor, she works all over the world, Lydia Yankovskaya, came up with a project where she brought together musicians, orchestra musicians, singers, and created works. It had to be either by refugee composers or about refugee themed, with the idea that most of us here in the United States, all of us here in the United States, are refugees. Well, not all of us, but so many of us.
Well, we call it,
refugees.
there's a reason why we call America the melting pot.
The melting pot.
Right. There's a
yes.
reason.
There
There's a
is.
reason.
There is a reason, and it's a wonderful melting pot. And this was an incredible opportunity for all of us to come together and remember that, and remember how that we're all much more united than divided. And so many people in the audience would come up to us afterward and just be like, my grandma was from so and so, or just the music resonated with me. And again, it's just another opportunity for me to use my personal experience, but also sing the music of refugee composers, or we sang Aida, for example. So different. There was different music, and I believe the orchestra itself, the way that it worked was, we would come to say Boston and get all new musicians, whomever was there, and we'd come together and we'd create a program. We'd go to DC, Same
There's
thing.
a certain, when I hear you talking about this refugee, the refugee orchestral
Orchestra project, it was called. Yeah,
orchestra
it is called,
project,
yes.
I can hear a passion in
Of
your
course.
voice. Now you were born in Moscow, but you came here when you were very young, and your education is American, is it not?
Yes, so I came here. I went to Worcester Academy in Worcester. We immigrated to Worcester, Massachusetts. So I went to school there, and then I went to Clark, and eventually went to BU, and got my master's in music at Boston University in vocal performance, and then ended up in New York, and then ended up here in
So you
Connecticut.
feel, I know that you sing in many languages.
Yes.
In fact, I was reading some of the reviews that people were giving about you, and they were saying that you are comfortable in Italian, in German, I assume in Russian, and I'm sure in English. Like,
I
how
hope.
do you feel about all those languages? I mean, can you speak all of them, or is it all through memory that you're doing the opera work?
It depends on the language. For example, German, I enjoy very much singing in German. I do not speak German, but as part of our education, all singers had to learn to read and pronounce French, Italian, German. Those were the three core languages. Um, when you learn, there is a way of learning whatever opera I'm working on. You have to internalize the language, no matter what language you're working on. So even if I don't know it, I find a way, and I've, 3 years of experience, I know every single word, what it means, how it
So what
feels.
does that mean to internalize a language when you don't speak it? Like, what is that? I see your actions with your hands, like as I'm
Yeah,
speaking to you, you're.
exactly. It's a, if you're playing the piano and it's, again, from my daughter's experience, she's young, something sad. Something about you, it changes, right? It's different music. Something. Oh my gosh! Or the word love. It can be said
As
in
opposed
different
to
ways.
amour.
Amore,
Right.
amore.
S-
So it's
Or
all.
amore.
Oh,
So you're
amore.
saying that the language sort of transforms
Oh,
you.
always, always. It transforms you, and it's part of the beauty of being an opera singer is how do you find a way of using a language that you don't speak. But again, I should say, yes, I don't speak the languages, but in opera a lot of words are
Are repetitive,
repetitive.
right?
So a lot of them we don't speak, but eventually after so many years of singing in them, you feel as if
On some
it's already
level,
there.
you feel the language and you
Yes,
understand the
it's already
language.
there. Yeah.
And maybe you can't speak it fluently, but you feel that you speak it on some level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel it in you, unless that's part of also being an actor, an actress. It has to be at your core, and you feel it. I think most of us. That's when they say, "Oh, that didn't feel authentic to me," versus, "Oh, you."
That's what they're talking about when they say that did, or when they say to you, "Oh my God, she was born for the part."
Right.
She was
Right.
not born for the part.
She
Right.
figured. Yeah.
She figured out how to internalize the part
Internalize it.
so
Yeah.
that you would think that she was born for
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
So, the purpose of this talk, I wanted to learn more about you, and I wanted our audience to know more about Zhanna, but I also want to know about the concert series. Tell me what you're planning for 2026.
This season is by far the most incredible season we've had. We became quite ambitious, as I would say. We had a wonderful season last year, our full season, and this year we're opening September 13th. We're opening with Philip Quint. He is an internationally known violinist who came recommended to us with Juncho at the piano. Um, when you go on YouTube and listen to some of his recordings, you will know what I'm talking about. I was listening just in fact, driving over here to Paganini, he was playing, and I was just. Whew.
And will you be singing, or
No,
is that just a
this
chamber? This is a chamber
yes.
orchestra.
So this is a chamber music program. For all classical music lovers, I know you will not be disappointed. Just take a listen to some of his recordings, and you will know what I mean. Philip Quint.
Well, this is on September 13th.
Yes.
And where will this be taking place?
Most of our performances are take place at Flag Road Unitarian Church. It's 134 Flag Road.
But this is
in
open
West
to the
Hartford.
public.
Open to the public, free parking. The church itself is incredibly convenient for performances because it has a wonderful hall with great acoustics and comfortable seating. So it all works out perfectly for the concerts. Then we are going into a concert in October. We'll be presenting a chamber concert, the Hermitage Piano Trio. The cellist won the Tchaikovsky International Competition, was the gold medalist. And then
Is that Matt Heimovitz?
No, this is the very special program.
That's in March. I'm confused.
Yes, that's in March. So we're having, this is going to be a trio. And then
this is October. And also in Flag Road.
Also in Flag Road,
okay.
Yes. November, we have something. So part of what we do at Amelia Classical Music Series, we try to obviously bring in internationally known artists, and we also want to support artists whom we believe in, who we think are going to be the next. And we were able to find someone just like that, the Van Cliburn.
I was about to say, this reminds me of Van Cliburn, but you already...
And you just took the words right out of my mouth.
No, you took the words out of my mouth. I was imagining the Van Cliburn competition.
Truly, this was incredible. We had this idea, or one of our board members suggested, well, why don't you look at some of the competitions that are taking place around the country? And we're like, oh, well, let's do a Van Cliburn competition. So we go, and we find Carter Johnson, wonderful pianist who we think is incredible because his program is posted on YouTube. Fall in love with him, start looking him up, and realize he lives in Connecticut.
This is fantastic.
We can, and so
it doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't. No. And I am thinking, well, let me go ahead and just reach out to him, thinking he must be so busy already, because obviously when you're at that competition, lo and behold, a wonderful person, incredibly easy to speak with, was so lovely, and agreed. And he'll be performing here in West Hartford. So we're thrilled to be welcoming him. And then Matt Heimovitz, which was another incredibly lucky find for us.
That's in March, on March 14th.
Yes, March 14th. This will be what we hope to be our first multidisciplinary performance. By that, I mean Matt, he proposed, and we're hoping to be able to make it happen. He created a program where he used Botticelli's Primavera painting as an inspiration to the musical selections. So he does Bach and then contemporary musical selection. So we're hoping that the painting that he's bringing is not Botticelli's painting, but
the facsimile.
Yes, that was made specifically for this project, and hopefully we're going to make this happen because it's something very special. It's going to be, they're doing a documentary about this project. It's going to be taking place all around the world in different venues, and so if we can make it happen, wow. What a thrill for us.
It's all very exciting,
Yeah.
But in your conversation I noticed that you said somebody on your board. You're a non-profit organization.
Yes.
So how is your organization supported? Because you're talking about a very ambitious
We
program,
are.
and especially that you only started like quite recently. Where's the financial support coming from?
It's still coming.
It's still coming.
Yes,
Okay.
we are working very hard. We have had a couple of sponsors who have been incredibly generous with their support, and we're working very hard. We have had a couple of people who came to our concerts and got so inspired as to say, "Look, we are we are going to support you," and that helps us immensely. But we are working so hard because it's not easy. Classical music isn't an easy sell, so to speak. But when people come, when they hear, when they realize that a small company like ours brings talent of that caliber, we have gotten incredible feedback, and hopefully we are reaching out to organizations, to local organizations, because we have big plans and big goals and big dreams.
You're talking about big dreams, and at one point you mentioned to me that you were talking about having a musical festival.
Yes.
Tell me, I'm not hearing in anything you're saying about, and I know you've performed in all these incredible operas, Aida and Turandot, and all these operas. Are you planning on doing a full-scale opera? Is that part of the mission for this, or?
At the moment, we're not, but it isn't something we're closed off to. At the moment, we are looking at concert work, and even for vocal performances, it's still concert work. But we'll see. We'll see where this path leads us, because, as I said, there are wonderful organizations here already in West Hartford. It's a thriving community, but I believe very strongly that there is room for us. I see it from the impact that we have had thus far and from the feedback we're getting. So we'll see what happens. But I think as a we hope this festival would incorporate, from young to old. We're looking at potentially producing a concert for children, which I would love to do. That's something I'm dreaming of for following.
Well, you've got Amelia.
Exactly, I have Amelia. So, and we we have we have different festivals here in town, but we don't have a music festival.
You are correct. There is no musical festival,
Exactly.
and I'm a little bit familiar with the Jazz Festival in Montreal and the Comedy Festival in Montreal. And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, why not a classical music festival? And you can amalgamate all those different musical venues that we have here and all the different musical talent, and it can go all over the area, which is the way they structure the Jazz Festival
Yes.
in Montreal.
Yes.
I mean,
Why
not?
This is why I always say, why not?
Why
You know,
not?
when we started this our concert series, who knew that in 1 year we'd have a sold out audience? So why not? My thinking always has been and continues to be, if you put in the work and you bring in the highest caliber musicians, people notice, they appreciate it, and they come out. It just takes a little bit of time to realize that, yes, this is the real deal. This is.
Well, I'm listening to you, and I have an expression that I think I'm the original creator of it. I might not be, but my expression has always been work works.
Yes.
And you are clearly doing the work. You are clearly bringing in the highest level of talent, and you yourself are the highest level of talent. I mean, you are an international star. I mean, it's hard to say, we're just two people here, but you
I
are.
remind my husband of it every day. I'm just kidding.
But you are, and is there anything else you want to mention before we say sayonara, or
Sayonara, till next time.
until next time?
If you enjoy.
À demain.
Yes. If you enjoy classical music, if you enjoy music, if you're hearing us and you want your parents to come, for your parents to come, or your kids to expose them, what we try to do, I should mention that during our concerts, we try to ask the artists to talk a little bit about the works that they're bringing. So, from someone who is a novice classical art community follower to someone who is a seasoned professional, um, they would appreciate the programs that we're bringing, and we hope to see as many of you um, as are able to make it. I think I believe that what we're doing will, and I know it will never ever disappoint. You will walk away from our concerts feeling inspired.
Well, I can't think of a better reason to go to this concert, to be inspired. Your first concert is going to be September
September
the
13th.
13th. It's going to be on Flag Road. You're going to hear about it here, and there'll be posters all over the place. And you know what? I wish you tremendous luck. I feel very, very good about this conversation and about the inspiration and about your passion for what you're doing. So I want to tell everybody, be there.